Hey, good morning. I hope you're having a wonderful start to your day. I hope it's productive and that it's peaceful, and hopefully you've done some meditation or gotten through your morning routine, getting some exercise in to just make sure that today is a great day. And so welcome to What Did He Just Say? With me, Lewis, and a YouTube video of Gary Vee. So today I'm starting the video in the middle. I played the first half of the video last week, and I'm just going to get going. I didn't know that it would be this good at the middle of the video. Gary Vee really drops some really knowledge bombs, we'll call them. And so I'm going to start it off. And once again, if you have any questions about what he's talking about, you can go ahead and put that in the chat from whatever platform you're watching. Right now, I'm broadcasting this across 5 different Facebook channels and 2 different YouTube channels. And anybody who's watching it can go in the comments, type something out. I'll see it within a couple of seconds, stop the video, and go ahead and see if I can answer any of the questions that you have. So without further ado, I will begin this video. Here we go.
I want to go into questions in about 5 or 10 minutes, so let me see where the mics are, but I'm going to line them up here and we'll figure that out. But before I do, I want to spend a few more minutes on audio. For a lot of people here, they missed YouTube, they missed Instagram. I believe there's 2 places where you have a chance over the next couple of years to not miss it. Number 1, you have to watch TikTok very carefully. If TikTok takes off seriously in this market, there will be an enormous amount of opportunity because the global penetration in Asia, the US, Europe is exploding. What's so amazing to live in a country of this size and this
Brazil,
much
he's talking about.
And you guys know this, is you can see these platforms exploding somewhere else and you can get a head start and play it here. Outside of Orchid, which became the player here, every other platform eventually makes its way here and became the dominant player. Please do not underestimate what is happening on TikTok globally and where the potential sits in this market. You should absolutely, if you're at this conference, if you're smart enough to be at this conference, you should be smart enough to go home and execute around the thesis, around the opportunities, around the knowledge. 1 is TikTok. Number 2 is voice. We are becoming much more of an audio consumption world. By show of hands, how many people here now?
So let me just address that really quick in case you haven't seen anything about this. I think voice is even more important than TikTok because a certain amount of people, types of people that will probably never consume TikTok videos are going to consume voice or already are. And so he's talking about podcasts. He's also talking about YouTube videos. You'll see. Just kind of keep watching. Why is this though? Because we all speak and we all are busy. Well, he's going to talk about it. So let's just let Gary do his thing.
Listen to a podcast. Raise your hands. Raise it high. I want everybody to look around. Look at this. Put it down for a second. Those same people, how many of you were listening to a podcast 5 years ago? Raise your hand. Look around. Look at that growth. Look at that growth. How many people here now, when they watch YouTube videos, sometimes just put the phone down and listen to it and don't even watch the video? Raise your hand.
So let me address that really quick. Notice he asked 5 years. So he didn't say how many of you people weren't watching, weren't listening to podcasts 3 months ago. Because that just doesn't matter. So what he's saying there is also inadvertently, he's saying, look, you got to do this thing and you got to start doing it. So start your podcast, start recording yourself, put it up on YouTube and do it consistently for years. That's the secret right there. Years, not months, not days, years.
Look at this. Look at this. D-Rock spends all this time making it look pretty, and you fuckers just listen to it. Audio is becoming the growing usage because we're busy and we want to do 2 things at once, 3 things at once, 4 things at once. One of the biggest opportunities in this room is understanding how big audio is and producing audio content. Everybody wants to be a marketer, but most people in this room are salespeople. It's why they like Google. Google's easy. It's intent. Somebody types something in, you know they want it, so you buy the ads and you convert. That's sales. I'm here to talk about branding and marketing. You know, the way real things are built. The way the biggest companies in the world are built. The biggest personalities, celebrities, brands, they're built through branding and marketing, not sales.
All the people and companies that are so successful that they think in terms of years.
To build brand that most people are not doing. Please be the person in this room that goes back and actually starts a podcast. Please be the person here who actually starts recording their thoughts and just posting the video. I mean, you could literally take your phone, hit memo, record, put the phone down. It's just a black screen, and you can post a black screen with your
and do it for the next 2 years.
Words. You can. Most of you won't because you don't think that's quality. This subjective point of view around quality is stopping the world from making. We must flip that on its head. Please be the person in this room that leaves here and starts making. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I left a lot of time for Q&A because I really, you know, the theory is very simple. The details of the questions matter. So who's got the mics? You got the mics? So you got to run around.
Years now.
It's hard to maintain it. But I believe that self-esteem,
her question, just so you know, was what can I do to help my kids?
Is the ultimate cure to everything. And I think most parents go on defense when their kids are hurting instead of offense. So when their kids are bullied, they want to go fight the school. They want to go fight the parent of the kid. It's defense. For me, as somebody who was bullied, because I was a Soviet immigrant in America in my childhood when the Soviet Union was the enemy. There was plenty of shit. I mean, if you can zoom in, I've got goosebumps. It was a very challenging time. But what my mom did was she went insular. It was offense. It was me and her in my own head, hearing nothing else. By the time I was in high school, I couldn't hear anybody else. It didn't matter. By the way, both pro and con. So for me, I think the thing you can do is beat into their head about them, not about the people in Montreal or Toronto or Canada. It's not about them. It's about yourself inside your own head, your own self-worth. And you have to pound it. A lot of parents here are like, oh, it's easy to say, but when their kids are you're right. But it's no different than working out and eating healthy. It's no different than make content and put it on all the platforms. The answer is simple. Pound into your kid's head their own self-worth, not the opinions of others. They'll be a happy person their whole life. The problem is most parents aren't acting that way. So it's hard for them to give advice that they don't even feel themselves. But that is the answer. You're welcome. Questions? Yep.
Here.
Thank you.
Hey Gary.
How are you?
Fine, you?
Very good.
Been following you for many years, so I'm so happy to be face to face with you.
Thank you.
I'm kind of nervous, so
don't worry.
Okay. So I came all the way from an extremely little town in San Juan, in Argentina, called San Juan. So I've been for a couple months or maybe years trying to figure out if I have to leave my small town or just stay around there, be patient, wait for my business to be like big.
What kind of business is it?
A digital agency. So my question is like, would you imagine yourself as a businessman as the size as you are right now, staying in New Jersey, for example, or in a small town?
I understand. So the question for you and everybody here is, what's big? Right? Because this is where people get caught.
The same thing happens to me. I'm like, I'm in Orlando, in this little small town. But then I switch it over and I'm like, this isn't a small town. I could do business with, I could talk to 100 people every day, and I'm never going to talk to everybody in this town or this city. So, you know, I don't know if you've ever heard the story of like, of people taking a new job in a new city, and they talk about it later on, how like this move was the best move I ever made. When I went there, everything was better there. And then at the same time, there's people in that city moving back to the city the other person just came from with the exact same story. I bet that's what he's going to go on about right here.
It's so simple being in a small town in Argentina, thinking you have to go to Sao Paulo, or you have to go to Buenos Aires, or you have to go to New York City. It's easy. It's easy. You're like, that's a much bigger place to go. The question is, it comes down to what makes you happy.
Oh.
For me, what makes me happy is to play the game. Not the money, not how big or small. I just want to play. I've always wanted to play. I've watched so many people have a $1 million business in a small town in America or in the world, move to a bigger place, do 5 million, and be very unhappy. They were very happy at 1 million in their small town. They went to a bigger town, they do 10 million, and they're very unhappy. My friend, Brazil, it is time that we in the world start making happiness what we go after, not more money.
Thank you.
We have to. We have to. Right? For me, when I hear bigger, I want you to have a bigger fucking smile on your pretty face, not make 280,000 more in fucking net revenue. You understand? You have to decide that for yourself. I don't know you. You have to decide that for yourself.
What a great answer.
Hey Gary.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm so good. I'm following you for almost 3 years, and I just want to say thank you for all of your content. You really changed my life, and would mean the world to have a picture with you. Can I?
Yes, you can.
Thank you. Right now?
Right now.
Right now? Oh, thank you.
Give the mic back. How are you?
Oh.
You're welcome. All right, get out of here. Let's go. Who's next? Hi.
Hi. First of all, I'm a huge fan.
Thank you.
You've taught me a lot about perspective and gratitude and happiness. I'm so nervous.
Don't be.
So, me and my sister, we're starting a B2B company, and we're trying to sell training and consulting for HR teams and leader teams.
Okay.
And I know we are not putting as many content as we should out there.
Why? Why do you think? Talk to me real. We're here. Why?
Well, she lives in another town,
Okay.
so it's a little difficult for us to.
Well, you don't
do
both
that.
have to be in the content.
Yeah, no, but she needs a lot of help, from me, because I know how to do things and how to film videos, and I'm teaching her.
Okay.
And she's a little. She doesn't have a lot of confidence. She's really good.
She knows her craft.
Yeah.
So what about writing, or what about audio? I feel like so many people that don't have confidence are very scared of the camera, but can do much, much better writing or recording audio.
Yeah.
This is why I spend so much time on it in my talk. I don't want people to be like me. Not everybody is ridiculously handsome and charismatic. You know what I mean, though? I don't want people to be like me. I want people to be like me, where they found their voice in their medium. But for a lot of you in this room, that's writing. If you're more introverted or insecure, a lot of writers are come from that framework. Or I really like audio, so keep that in mind. But keep going.
And she's doing cold calls and trying to reach companies in her region. But I'm just guessing, what else can we do besides content that I know we should be doing to get our first clients? Just to have a portfolio.
Free.
Yeah.
The biggest mistake small companies make is they don't work for free. And then, now that I said this on the internet, so many people are going to leave comments and say that I'm an idiot and they hate me and nobody should work for free and blah, blah, blah. That's fine. But those are said by people that have never started a company with no customers. That's right. And so I did it. And I'd already built a big business, but I went into a new world where people thought what I did for the liquor store was not going to work. So I worked for free. I still do it if I think it's the right strategy. So I think the biggest thing you should do is work for free because it gives you the referral base. And by the way, when nobody's hiring you, that means your work is worth free.
Yeah. Can I have a selfie?
You can.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a great answer. Oh no, what did I do?
Songwriting is tension and release. You set up an expectation, and then you make.
So I love that. If nobody's hiring you, then your work is worth free. Yikes.
It's like 5 minutes.
Okay. Пожалуйста. Okay. Who's next on?
Eles precisam disso, eles querem isso, só que eles têm pressa. E isso demanda.
That most people don't understand.
O que a gente pode fazer para ajudar esses negócios?
Don't try to convince anybody. The number one mistake when you're selling something new that most people don't understand is people spend too much time trying to convince them instead of finding the person that already understands. People make it a noble mission instead of a business. My friend, I've been right and early for the last 20 years of my life. I have spent almost no time trying to convince anybody. I sometimes have a 1-hour meeting with a company, fly from New York to Chicago, walk in, sit down, start the presentation, and end it after 10 minutes because I already know it's over. Every minute that you spend trying to convince somebody who's already no is a minute that you're not spending trying to find somebody that will say yes.
You see the correlation there of make lots of content and don't try to convince anybody. Because the content will find the people that already believe what you're talking about, and then you don't have to convince them.
Ou seja, tentar ajudar quem está disposto a receber essa ajuda.
What you're saying is helping the people that are willing and already know.
Of course, because when you're selling something new, they can't see it or they don't have reports in their company to justify it. Got it? So if they don't have the report to justify your work, they're scared. They might agree with you, but the machine that they work in won't allow them to say yes. So you just move on. You're welcome. Sign it? Got it. Okay, next.
Hey Gary.
How are you?
First of all, you're awesome. My name is Luca, and I watch your content since I'm 19. Now I'm 22, so thank you for being part of that.
Thank you.
I want to ask you something that I believe is really important. You are the first guy to talk about making content, making really quality content, but I'm afraid that the internet still is a place with very anxiety. I mean, Instagram causes a lot of anxiety.
Instagram doesn't cause anything. People are anxious.
Yes.
But this is important. Instagram, there is no Instagram. There's a platform. We post pictures, and humans decide to see somebody having a nice time, and they decide to be upset.
Because they because they compare themselves.
Yeah, my question is, how can we all here at this event can help these platforms, all platforms, be mindful, be better to not destroy other people.
By putting out real shit. If everybody here didn't only put out photos when they're most dressed up, going to the most fancy place, and showing everybody how fucking amazing their life is, the world would be in a better place.
Thank you.
Wow.
Not super complicated. D-Rock and I are going to end this talk. I'm about to do in 5 minutes the fireside chat. We're going to do a book signing. We're going to run to the airport. We're going to take a private plane because I have to get to Sao Paulo because I want to get home for family early tomorrow morning. There will be no picture of me on a private plane. I'm not going to show that I'm fancy. That's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about gratitude and kindness and empathy. We're in control. There's no fucking Instagram monster. There's no YouTube monster. We're the monster.
I run a busy team, and Monday.com has transformed the way we work together. We
use Monday.com. It's good.
I don't know who's got the mic.
That's why they keep advertising to me.
Hi.
Go, okay.
Yeah,
You'll be
so
next.
when producing content, language matters.
Yes.
And we're in a country that doesn't speak English.
Yes.
So said that, how can we break the language barrier to go global?
Well, you're not going to get Portuguese to go global.
Yes. I mean, what's the best way to go in English and Portuguese, bilingual?
Do it both.
And I mean, but just in one profile, but two profiles, or
you can do two profiles. I'm a big fan of sometimes doing video that is both in Portuguese and in English. I also want to remind you that this is a humongous fucking country and winning here is just fine too.
Yeah.
You know,
So,
I mean it.
okay.
If you want to win globally and you're so desperate to, then you're more than welcome to make English.
Yeah, because currency matters. I mean, real it's like 1 and dollar is like 4, so it's a big opportunity.
I understand that. I think it all comes back to the gentleman from Argentina. You have to decide what's right for you. If you want global, if you're chasing more dollars, then make English content.
Okay, so
But it's very important I say this. I think this is every country outside of China and the US has an inferior complex because there's more money elsewhere. This is a huge fucking country.
okay, and thank you.
Like huge.
So
Orlando is a huge city with 1 million people.
folks in Brazil.
If that's what you want to, but if, you know, I can promise you, just focusing in Brazil with just Portuguese content can make you plenty of money and happiness. If you personally want to be on a bigger stage, English is something you have to consider.
Okay, so thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey Gary, good evening.
Good evening.
First of all, Yatsibialu Blue. Well,
That means I love you in Russian.
yeah. So I'll just give you a very quick context because I want to respect everyone's time. When I was 4 years old, my mom stabbed me for eating all the cucumbers we had for dinner.
Stabbed you?
My hand, yes.
Okay.
When I was 6, she smashed my face against the wall until it bled from my nose and teeth. Just because I was late 1 hour. Then she threw me at a graveyard when it was late at night. And honestly, all my life was fear and sadness and sorrow. And so when I was 20 years old, I said, either I kill myself or I go. So I decided I go. And I left my mom. And a few years later, I became an entrepreneur. And I'm not the most successful one, but I've done pretty good for myself. Quite happy.
Good.
And
Yeah, that's amazing.
With MailChimp's
commercial.
recommendation smarts, you'll get insights on what people are
Little
more likely to
all
buy next.
but my
that's a story that resonates with me. It's something I share very infrequently, but my grandmother, who passed away this year, and maybe that's why I'm a little bit more comfortable sharing it, she was very difficult to my father too in the Soviet Russia. So I have a lot of empathy for that story. And I also know, and I know you know this because I see you made some doll with my face on it, so obviously you're following. I believe that adversity in youth is a very powerful advantage if you're able to get out of it. If you're lucky enough to be born with natural mindset or consume something that helps you get out of it.
100%. So I came a long way, but I did become an entrepreneur out of vengeance and wanted to get even with my mom, my dad, my everyone. And I knew how unhealthy it was. And then came along this American Russian who speaks way too much and curses even more. And somehow, I don't know how, I really don't know, but you changed me. Today I work for happiness. I work for helping other people rather than closing the most deals. And I came here to practice what you preach, which is jab, 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 right hook. So let's start with the jabs, please. Then we go to the right hook.
Please.
Thank you.
First
of all, Gary Vaynerchuk. I'd like you to meet Gary Vaynerchuk. Also, I'd like you to meet Sasha Vaynerchuk.
Very nice.
And to make it devastating, Tamara Vaynerchuk.
Very nice. My two favorite people on earth.
Yes.
Thank you.
Now, I know you're a private man, so I'll make it in Russian. If you want, I'll do it for free. I'll do ваши детям и ваша жена 100% бесплатно. We just have a little...
You send me an email to Gary@VaynerMedia, and we'll get hooked up.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, thank you. Now here's my right hook, and regardless of what you say yes or no, what I said earlier, I'll deliver. I desperately need 20 minutes FaceTime with you whenever you want, wherever you want, please.
Okay, two things. One, jab, 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 right hook. When you give, and then ask. It's unbelievably important to me that people understand that when you give with something behind it, it's not giving. So the execution of that for the 20 minutes is not how I see the world. However, I just want to make sure everybody understands that. However, even with that said, and usually it's not my favorite move when somebody gives me something I didn't ask for and then needs something from me, which is the most valuable thing from me, my actual time. Even though I don't love that, I just love you.
Thank you. I love you so much.
I will give you the 20 minutes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So jab, jab, right hook, jab, 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 right hook. I haven't even read the book, but I probably will. Is give without ever asking for anything, anything back, and then someday you can ask for something. So that's his content style, which would be, try to help people and try to do as much as he can, and someday you can ask for a favor or ask for some business or go for it. So.
Thank you.
Email me. We'll get connected. It's Gary at VaynerMedia.
Here.
I'm going to get one more in, and then I'm going to call up the CEO, and we're going to have this fireside chat.
Last one, please.
Hi, you got it.
I love you.
I love you back.
Okay, thank you. We own a cannabis growing site for cannabis.
Like, yeah.
What? Yeah, for 17 years, we are spreading content. Jab, 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 jab all the time. And now the market is opening for the big companies coming from United States. As you know, we can't have sponsored ads on Facebook or Instagram.
I'm aware.
So asking you any advice.
Influencers, because that's the most scalable thing. So giving the dollars to the influencer, they post, and then sometimes it stays up, sometimes it doesn't. But my number one thing, and I do a lot in the US with cannabis with my Green Street company, you have to start a podcast. You have to control the media. Podcast and even text messaging. Starting to ask people for their cell phone numbers and putting out content directly to them.
And we work very hard on chatbot also.
100%. But even the chatbot, if it's within WhatsApp, if it's in WhatsApp, you're going to be vulnerable. You want to go direct phone numbers, and you want to start a podcast company because there's no platform in the middle that's in control of you. All right?
Thank you very much. It's an honor.
Thank you. All right, let's do the fireside chat. Thank you, everyone.
Garrett.
Hey, that's all I'm going to do for today. Thanks for watching. I hope that you got a little value from this. I'm going to release our episode 5, season 4 podcast. If you'd like to watch Riley and my podcast, all you have to do is Google Marketing 101 Podcast, because that's the name of the show. We'll pop up and you'll see who we are. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you crush your goals, or at least take another step towards them, because big goals don't get crushed in one day. I hope you're happy, and I hope you share some of that happiness with others. And that's all. Have a wonderful day.